Here I am. So, the second part. Let's talk about questioning skills. It's great if we're able to listen really well, because listening really well enables us to identify what the key questions and most effective questions are that we need to ask. Now, most of us will unconsciously use open, probing, reflective and closed questions in our everyday conversation. However, few of us will actually realise that the benefit of being able to generally structure our questioning process in a way to make it really far more effective. And some of the things that we consider here are using open questions in place of closed questions. Now, the great benefit of using open questions is that it encourages or tends to promote a thought through and a fully considered response or answer from the other person. So rather than asking questions like if or are or is or do, which generally only require a simple yes/no response and therefore don't require a whole lot of consideration or thought and are very easily influenced by the leader, i.e. people will tell you what they think you want to hear, or worst case scenario, tell you what will make you go away quickest, is to be able to give you a yes or a no answer. So avoiding closed questions in this context is a good idea, and replacing those with open questions with who, why, where, what, why, when, which and how. By using those words to prefix your questions, you will be encouraging people to think through a more considered and less influenced by you answer, therefore being more genuine. And then by supplementing or following those up with a probing question, which could still be an open question primarily, which starts to drill down into the core or the root cause of the situation or the concern or how the task needs to be done. And then you can have the great power of combining some of the active reflective listening with our own questioning skills with reflective questioning by just summarising or recapping or paraphrasing in a reflective way what we've covered so far or what we've agreed so far or what we've discussed so far, before then moving into a closed question like, do you understand, are you okay, is everything clear? Because then when they give you a yes/no answer, you're probably getting a whole lot more commitment and engagement, and it'll be a more genuine yes or no rather than a simple superficial one. So by being able to generally structure our questions in a open, probing, reflective and closed funnel style, then that enables us to get much better quality information and a higher level of commitment or engagement out at the other end. And it would sound a little bit like, or could sound a little bit like this, where you start with your open questions around how are you going to go about this piece of work, what do you feel you need to do first, and then you can drill down into that and say, when you say you have some concerns, what specifically are they, how can I help with those concerns, why do you feel you should do it this particular way, what are the risks of doing it this way, what are the benefits of taking this approach, and then reflecting back on that and saying, so you'll feel comfortable about most parts of this job, you need me to give you a little bit of help here, I'm going to pop along in a couple of hours and see how you're getting on and give you a hand with that part of it, we're going to get Phil to work with you on this, and you feel you should be able to get this completed by the end of the day. Then when I say, is that right, or are you okay with that, and they give me a yes/no answer, chances are it's going to be a more genuine, a more engaged and a more committed response. So in very quick summary, the skill is to start to experiment with using more open questions with those prefixes, trying to minimize closed questions, particularly early on in the coaching or the mentoring or the conversation, being prepared to drill down and search out for root causes by using open probing questions, and then having the maturity and the skill to be able to paraphrase or summarize back and reflect on what you've covered so far, whatever that might be, before asking for a commitment or a call to action with a yes/no response. Because when you do it in that way, you will end up with a more committed and a more genuine reply. So, open, probing, reflective and closed. get into the habit of using that until you develop a level of authenticity and natural approach to it. So don't let it compromise your personal style, otherwise it won't work. Authenticity above all else is key when it comes to leadership. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and stay safe.